Hello everyone, and welcome back to No Cruise Control. Today I'm swapping ships for something a little different. We are on this vlog heading north on one of the most scenic train routes in North America, the Amtrak Adirondack. Adirondack? Yeah. From New York City all the way up to Montreal in Canada. Now this train, the Adirondack, has a fascinating history. Its service began back in 1974, and it was a collaboration between Amtrak in the US and Via Rail Canada in Canada, reconnecting New York and Montreal after a period without a regular cross-border rail travel. So it's named after the Adirondack Mountains, which the route passes through in upstate New York, and then covers about 381 miles in total. It's regularly ranked as one of the most scenic train rides in the world, especially during autumn or fall if you're North American, when the fall colours make the whole journey spectacular. Now, we booked this because we were cruising at a particular time of year. It wasn't specifically for the fall colours, but we had some at the beginning of the fall colours. It's quite warm this year, so I think autumn was a bit sort of later. But yeah, it was still stunning, absolutely stunning. So we'd booked our tickets online, directly with Amtrak, which was really easy to do, and they cost around $75 each for the full journey, one way, New York to Montreal. And our adventure began in the Moneyhane train hall right next to Penn Station in Manhattan. It was a very early start, departing at 7:15 in the morning. Jet lag helped us, and the time frame difference helped us because we'd flown from London to New York, so we were wide awake early. If you're doing the full route to Montreal like we are, it takes around 10 hours. It might sound long, but it was incredible, and worth it for the views along the way. Worth every penny. It's not a ride I'd do again very soon, but it's definitely one I'd do again in the future when I've forgotten that ride. But yeah, no, it was really good, really good. And as many people have pointed out to me, there are much quicker ways. There are, but this is about the journey, not the time of how long it takes. It's the journey. The going through rural upstate New York and admiring the Hudson River views and the Adirondack Mountain views, and yeah, I mean, it was stunning. It was great. So we checked in when we got to the train hall, and then got given tickets and told where to go. And then we had some breakfast. There was a bagel place open. It was nice. I do advise you to take snacks. If you want breakfast and particular thing for breakfast, I don't know, cereal or something, like, take it with you. We had lunch on the train, which is kind of a ready meal, a microwave meal that they prepare for you, but it was lovely. It was nice. It filled a hole. But yeah, there's no gourmet food on this trip, and there's a cafe that sells Starbucks coffees and tea and soft drinks, but you can take your own stuff as well. So take a picnic, as I used to say as a kid. Take a picnic and enjoy. Yeah. So there's plenty of space above your seat for both cabin size and full size luggage, hold size luggage. I have the away hand luggage and medium cases, and they both fitted up above my head perfectly. So make sure you can lift your suitcase up. Yeah, there wasn't people there to help or anything. Other than I'm sure the other North American train riders would help you because they are absolutely lovely. But there's not really much space to leave your bags on the floor level. You can check in bags as well, but we didn't need to. Yeah, there's no porter service like once you're on board. The train's comfortable. We had a double seat. There was one seat for four, I think, with people facing each other at the end of the carriage. Plenty of leg room. My husband's 6'4", and he had plenty of leg room. Huge windows, perfect for taking photos and videos of the scenery, which is coming up at the end of this video. There's a cafe bar that says drinks and snacks, Starbucks drinks, wasn't much choice of coffee. Do you know, like in the UK, you have a coffee and there's about 20 different ways to have it. There was like white or black. Yeah, it suited us fine. Drinks and snacks, the kind of snacks, you know, like sandwiches, crisps, chocolate bars, and things you see on trains usually. You can bring, you're also welcome there, like I said, to take your own food on board. We decided to have lunch in the café car, and I went for macaroni cheese, which, despite being a microwave meal, was actually really good. And yeah, you can buy drinks and things throughout your journey. They will make announcements where the café car shuts occasionally when you're stopping at certain stations, and I don't think they serve alcohol when the train's in Canada, but otherwise they served throughout. After leaving New York City, the train first follows the Hudson River for miles, and this offers stunning water views and glimpses of riverside towns, bridges, loads of bridges, and boats as you travel north. If you want a good Hudson views, you need to sit, if you're facing the direction of travel of the train up out of New York, you need to sit on the left-hand side, and for more views, when you're getting closer to Canada and more views of the Adirondacks, I guess, you need to sit on the right. I'd advise the left, though. I think the Hudson River views are better. There's a long stop in Albany, which is the capital of New York State, I think, which I didn't realise. I naively thought was New York. So we stopped there for quite a long time. The first time that he said that we all needed to be back on board was like over an hour after the time we were. So everyone was a bit confused because there wasn't really an announcement of, yes, that really is a long time. And it wasn't really clear on the timetable. So people were getting off and going to sort of look at the train. He did actually announce that you could get off and go and see the train hall, and, you know, go to the shops or something. But not many people did, just because of the confusion, really. I think if I travel on it again, I will, because I know the train will stay there. But we were a little bit like, ooh, if we go wandering off to the station, then the train might go, and we're stuck. But no, it was fine. And get off, go for a stretch of your legs. My husband and I, we both went separately to the end of the train to look at the engine, and take some photos. And yeah, next time I'd be more brave and would go for a wander. But this time we were just a bit nervous of like, trains don't stop in stations for an hour, or over an hour, but they do in America. This is why it takes 10 hours. We stop. No, that's the only station we stopped in for a long time. So definitely get up, have a break, have a wander around. After Albany, the route became more scenic, really, as we climbed into the Adirondack Mountains. We were surrounded by lakes, forests, and rolling hills. It was beautiful. Like I say, the view of that's probably better on the right-hand side of the train. But the left-hand side still had a view too, don't get me wrong. It was still beautiful. And you'll see, I'll show you after. It's a very peaceful and picturesque ride. And in autumn, it was great for those added colours. Towards the end of the journey, you reach the US-Canada border, where customs officers come on board to check your passports. We were also given special sort of entry to Canada forms to fill in on the train before we got to Canada. And then in Canada, so everyone, we park alongside the road border, which you'll see in the VT after, and then the 3 guards or something came on, was scanning documents, and basically stopped at every travel group and asked questions like why you're coming to Canada, how long you're going to be in Canada for, where you're travelling to, usual kind of security questions. We were there for probably just under an hour. So the train does pick up and drop off people along the route, so only the people who were going over the border were all in the same carriage. So there was 1 carriage of us at the back, and 3 officers came on and went through us all. 1 lady was taken away. We don't know where she's gone. We don't know. I mean, I hope she's all right. She might still be there. And then there was a couple who were taken to another carriage for an interview, and then they returned and then had to take all their luggage with them to another carriage, and then eventually they returned with all their luggage. So don't know what happened to them. But we were fine. They checked through our passports, asked us about our trip, our cruise. It easy, fine, and then welcomed in. And then once, well, this lady had still gone, everyone else was sat back down, the train went again, and off we went into Canada. We were through Canada during sort of sunsets. There's beautiful views over the huge sort of fields, farming fields we went through. It was lovely. And then Montreal was just about an hour and a half after the Canadian border, so it wasn't long. So then we arrived in their central station, just right in the heart of the city, and our hotel was, so Montreal's a bit hilly, so the station was on the top of a hill and our hotel was at the bottom of a hill, which is the way around I wanted it after a long journey, but with 2 suitcases on 4 wheels, it was fun going down a steep hill. No, it was fine, and like I say, much rather that than going up the hill after a 10-hour journey. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure people get Ubers and it'd be like less than a mile. I mean, not even half a mile. And yeah, it was dry, it was fine, we walked. To be fair, it rained the next day, but not the next day, the day after that, when we embark on the ship, we still walked. I'd feel embarrassed getting an Uber for like half a mile. Yeah, so we then checked into our hotel, which was like an apartment hotel, and maybe I'll show that in a different vlog. But basically, this journey, very relaxing, very memorable way to travel between the US and Canada. And if you're planning Canada and New England cruise, or simply want a unique way to get to Montreal, I highly recommend it. It was great fun. But don't do it if you're the type of person that can't entertain yourself by looking out the window. If you get bored easily, I wouldn't. It's not for you. But if you're happy in your own company to admire the views and relax and be peaceful, this is the trip for you. Now, I've made a little video of some of the photos and videos I took, and I hope you enjoy. We're on the Adirondack train. We're just leaving New York Penn Station. It was dark out when we came into the station, so we got here at like 5:30. Not 5:30, 6. 6. It's still dark. It's New Jersey over there. We sailed into that bridge when we did the Manhattan circumnavigation cruise. I'll put a link to that if I remember in the description, because if you come into New York, it's an excellent trip to do, especially if you like cruising. It's on an old-fashioned schooner yacht type thing. I'm gonna go now because that's not much of a view for you. The towers of it coming up. I think the trees will go in a minute. Beeping going on, but I don't think it does. Oh, no, it's that. Another Amtrak train. There's the bridge. Here it is. Yay, this is it. We've gone through this bridge when it runs round because it's the top of Manhattan. Crouton Harmon. I'm being corrected in my pronunciation. I'm not going to say it because I say it wrong, but that one that's mentioned on Friends. We're going to end up in Montreal like Ross did, but through choice, not sleeping. There might be some sleeping done today though. We're speeding up. The Metro North Railroad. What's that? Oh, that is as well. Ooh. There's a tent for fishing on the side of the railway. Oh, cute.
Now arriving Whitehall. This is Westport.
It's a very big orchard. This is the last stop in the US.
Man. On va passer à l'épaule, je te reviens avec ça demain. Mais c'est vraiment une voiture qui m'intéresse énormément parce qu'il y a beaucoup de place.